Can I do it? Jonathan Fibinogi here, nature lover, dad, stock trader, teacher, book reader, cannabis advocate, hashtag MRA, photographer, newbie comic, I love life, hashtag MRA. How do I give a men's rights activist commercial in less than 2.5 minutes? Because we know women are crazy, men are dumb, and men are all over Google. They're searching different, father's rights pages and custody stuff. And maybe you found my pages, best father's rights lawyers, best, Dallas, Houston. This is the one you really need to focus on. Texas 2503, best father's rights lawyer in Dallas, Austin, Houston, Texas. And I want to be very brief here. If you want to know more about my story, obviously you could watch those videos, Texas 2503, or maybe you are just in a situation where you're considering a divorce, or maybe you're in a divorce modification. You don't know up or down about how to navigate the process. Maybe you have a lawyer. You're like, who's this Jonathan Fibinogi guy, and why is he talking about Texas 2503? And now he's talking about $2,800. And what is a divorce kit? And why is a $2,800 divorce kit the best thing that I could possibly buy right before my divorce or a divorce modification? That is what you're thinking. Well, maybe not. Well, I am Jonathan Fibinogi, and I'm offering a $2,800 divorce kit. Go look at my videos. Really understand the realities of the Texas civil system. That's my big piece of advice. Other than watching my videos, learning about Texas 2503, learning about federally protected statuses, learning how to choose your lawyer, learning how to vet your lawyer, men. And men, one thing you have to realize, if there's anything you get out of this video, is that the Texas civil system is designed to penalize men and protect women. And I want to say that again, because I don't think people really understand that the Texas civil system is set up where men lose. And when men lose, we lose our families, we can lose our livelihoods, and there's no human on earth that knows more about the Texas civil system than Jonathan Fibinogi. And my $2,800 divorce kit, I don't think you can spend a more appropriate $2,800. And this is just going to all the men out there, or maybe you have a brother that's going through a divorce and you're trying to get him to take his divorce seriously. But one thing you have to really to know about the Texas civil system is it's designed to set up so that you men will fail and pay, and women are protected. And you're like, well, Fibinogi, we already got that. We already know that. We don't need any sort of $2,800 divorce kit. And what are you gonna include in this $2,800? And I'm like, it's going to talk about the top 10 things that you need to know. And the number one thing you need to know going into your divorce modification, if you're in the state of Texas, is that sometimes the other side doesn't want peace. There's a peace pipe. It's my Twitter, by the way. There I am right there. Sometimes the other side doesn't want peace. And when that happens, the Texas civil system has a lot of mechanisms to get rid of you and to restrict your visitation with your children, to take 20% of your income, to make you a Skype dad. And then there's Texas 2503, which is at the epicenter of most of the issues. And you're like, okay, Fibinogi, now you got my attention, $2,800. How do I get in contact with you? Simple. Email me, americana417@gmail.com. americana417@gmail.com. Buy my $2,800 divorce kit. And then in that divorce kit, you're going to see all kinds of things. Like, for example, this. Child custody battle ends with charges against the mother. Action 13 News. You're like, well, why is that going to be my divorce kit? It's because you need to know something, and this is so important. You need to understand that in the Texas civil system, this is an official report from News Station 13. I believe it's out of Houston. It could be out of Dallas. Let me double check. This is about a child custody case that ended with charges against the mother before filing false CPS allegations and what they can really do to men. And you're like, well, I'm not worried about CPS. Well, I wasn't either, until you realize, well, I'll just let you listen to another lawyer tell you the way CPS investigations are used in the state of Texas. This lawyer Waddell says it's devastating, talking about perjury. But in the civil system, perjury, women can lie. It's not called perjury. It's called, well, we just wanted to make sure. So women are not held accountable to perjury. They're not held accountable to Texas 2503. But more importantly, when a woman wants to, she can file a CPS allegation against you. And this is what else says. It's very detrimental to the case for one, but false allegations could be devastating to that particular parent socially, financially. They could possibly lose their job, their child temporarily or forever. Now, this is a very important thing that I will include in my divorce kit. And this is the reality that in the state of Texas, and this is the reality, just Google it, for a woman to make a false allegation in a CPS or in a divorce modification, if she wants to go cunt and she wants to accuse you of something through the CPS, maybe you drink and she wants to say that you are a drunk and you have to go through a 4-month CPS investigation, it only costs a woman $500 for filing a false CPS allegation. However, if women do it repeatedly, then they can go to jail. But think about that. It takes a woman 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times to finally, the authorities to go finally, okay, this is now perjury. But how many times does it take for a woman to destroy a man's life? One time. One time. So Texas 2503, the realities of the CPS system, the top 10 things that you need to have on the table when you're talking to a divorce lawyer. And the number one question is, hey, lawyer, how are you going to enforce Texas 2503 in a state that does not enforce Texas 2503? And most of the time, your lawyer won't even know what Texas 2503 is. But I do. And these are the things that I will include in my divorce modification prep kit or my divorce father's rights kit. Whether you're in Austin, Houston, Dallas, Corpus Christi, Lubbock, Muleshoe, wherever you're at in Texas, if you are going through a divorce, if you're a man and you have children, my $2,800 divorce kit is not just money well worth. It's not just worth it, but you have to look at the realities of what the major news stations are speaking to, but very few people really talk about. And notice how this Waddell says to that particular parent. Well, that particular parent's usually a man. Usually it's a dude. And she's truthful when she says that a false allegation can hurt you socially, financially. You could lose your job, your child temporarily, forever, or maybe for years at a time. Jonathan Benoji, I'm out. Americana417 @gmail.com.